Hey, well, good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. I'm always excited to be with you and share the news with you. And yes, there are troubling things in Canada, but let me remind you, all it takes for the forces of evil to rule the world is for enough good people to do nothing. And the truckers in Canada certainly aren't part of that group. They are doing something. And I will tell you that anybody that gets involved in any movement that runs contrary to the globalist regime is going to face threats. Okay? It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you do. Right now, even for sharing stuff on social media, you see that you're getting banned. And actually, they are now looking at social media accounts of the truckers up there in Canada running around and doing door-knocking procedures. This is the totalitarian state. The harder they push, the more we need to push back. We cannot give up. We cannot give up the fight. Okay? We just can't. We are not at a point where we can lay down in this fight. We have to hold the line. And the truckers of Canada are doing that. In fact, for a direct quote, we will hold the line. This is an article out of the Epoch Times, or Epic Times, and I will get this down in the description below. But Freedom Convoy organizers say they will continue to protest on Parliament Hill despite federal government's declaration of a state of emergency. How is it going to look if more of you Canadians get down there and join them on Parliament Hill, and they are trying to round up millions of Canadians? You need to be there in force with your brothers and sisters. You need to stand strong. You need to show them that you will not cower, you will not fear. Okay? That's all you've got at this point. This is your government. It's time for you to take it back. I believe that people in military and police are not going to be excited about arresting truckers, their families, their children, the elderly, the infirmed. Yes, we saw some that went off the rails there, you know, that little 80-year-old guy who's this tall. Okay? Not a good look for them. Okay, not a good look. When tyrants are willing to enforce when officers are willing to enforce the edicts of tyrants, that this whole, just following orders stuff, that doesn't work. So if you're on the police force, and I have seen a number of brave officers step out, come against this, and also retire, giving up their pensions, their paychecks, their livelihoods for the sake of freedom. More need to do the same. This is a perceived power that they have. The only power that government has is the power that we allow them as citizens, because they need citizens to be in the government doing the things. They need citizens to act as police and military to carry out their edicts. Tell them no. No, we're not going to take it. Okay? Now, we are not afraid. So this directly from one of the Tamara Lich said. We are not afraid. In fact, every time the government decides to further suspend our civil liberties, our resolve strengthens, and the importance of our mission becomes clearer. Okay? This is not over. Just because Justin Trudeau thinks it is, it doesn't mean it is. We remain peaceful but planted on Parliament Hill until the mandates are decisively ended. We recognize that there is a democratic process within which change occurs. We have never stepped outside of that process, nor do we intend to. Trudeau is the first prime minister to use the Emergencies Act. The act replaces the War Measures Act and was just used by and that was last used by Trudeau's father, then Prime Minister, dating back to 1970. There is no emergency going on in Canada other than the emergency of the erosion of people's rights. Okay, the only erosion that Trudeau is so worried, or the only emergency that Trudeau is worried about is his sliding poll numbers and the political embarrassment, because people have come together and stood up against his tyrannical brand and the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab and all these clowns who want some global reset. Okay, that's the emergency for Trudeau. He is being exposed on a massive level, and this only exposes him more for being the tyrant that he is. Okay, so the act gives the state additional powers to deal with the protesters and blockades, such as providing legal tools to cut the funding to protesters, as well as freezing the corporate accounts of companies whose trucks are used in any blockade and removing their insurance. Yeah. Is that freedom? Is that freedom? Oh my gosh. Did they do that with the Black Lives Matter? Really? No, he went and took a knee with them, went down there and toppled statues with them. Oh, it was a grand old time, okay? Oh, now we're worried about our statues? When did that start? Seriously. This is a sham. I think everybody can see through it. Keep spreading the word. Keep getting this out, because it is a complete and absolute sham. It needs to be exposed as such. We cannot let tyrants win or rule the day. Think of your children, your children's children. Okay? All of this. It's all on the line here. It's all on the line now. Don't back up. Don't give up. Don't concede. You can't. It's gone too far. The elites have taken it too far. The province of Ontario and the city of Ottawa have also declared states of emergency over the protests. Yeah, big emergency. Bouncy house insurrection, yes. The protests were initiated by truck drivers who opposed COVID-19 vaccination mandates for cross-border travel, okay? And you've seen all the beautiful video of all the people lining the highways and the overpasses, Canadians coming together. They never were able to put this many people together for peaceful protests during the Summer of Love. They were able to bring out violent agitators and spectators, but never this many people engaged in a peaceful protest. So if the numbers that they keep telling us in polling data is so far to the other side, then why are we seeing this giant uprising in Canada? Why are we seeing something that the left could never put together, a truly organic movement by the people to deliver rights unto their fellow citizens and themselves? Seriously, ask yourself that question. The Emergencies Act will be used to strengthen and support the enforcement agencies at all levels across the country. This is about keeping... No, wait, here we go. Let me do my Trudeau impersonation. The Emergencies Act will be used to strengthen and support law enforcement agencies at all levels across the country. This is about keeping Canadians safe, protecting people's jobs. I can't even get through it. Protecting people's jobs? Why are they protesting? Because you have threatened their jobs, you moron, okay? And restoring confidence in our institutions. There is no confidence in the institutions because you have burned the institutions to the ground, okay? That's the real truth of the matter. You have destroyed their jobs, taken away their livelihoods. You have pushed them so far they have nothing left to lose, Trudeau. They have nothing to lose. You're sitting there trying to back them into a corner and say, oh, we're going to do this and this and this. Really? Oh, we're going to take your money. You've already taken their livelihoods. See, when people have nothing to lose, that's the most dangerous people to you, okay? And I'm not talking dangerous in terms of violence. I'm talking dangerous in terms of your political future, or Trudeau's political future, you guys get it. Anyways, Lynch said the Canadians should be surprised that such an extreme measure is being used against peaceful protesters. We have countless vulnerable people in our crowd, including children, the elderly, and the disabled. We cannot be met by force by a genuine liberal democracy. The right to peaceful protest is sacrosanct to our nation. In fact, it is protected in the Canadian Charter of Rights that I will pull up for you right here because it seems that people are unwilling to go read this stuff. But democratic rights. Every Canadian citizen has the right to vote in an election. Every Canadian citizen has the right to enter, remain in, and or leave Canada. This isn't Berlin. This isn't Russia of old, okay? Canadian citizens and permanent residents have the right to live or seek work anywhere in Canada, okay? Fundamental freedoms, okay? The right to practice any religion. We are free to think our own thoughts, speak our own minds, listen to the views of others, and express our opinions in creative ways. We're also free to meet with anyone we wish to participate in peaceful demonstrations. It's right here in your Canadian Charters of Freedoms. I think you guys need to go read this. In fact, I'm going to put a link to this down below with the article from the Epoch Times. I'll leave it at that. You guys can look into it a little bit more there. Hey, really quickly, I do want to thank my sponsor, MyPillow. I love it. I love MyPillow. MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack, save you up to 66% on the best sleep products available. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right? Love you, folks. Peace out.